Welcome back. We got lots of missions to talk about today. Flex, open play, narrative, match play. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start from the top with the open play, only war.
So this is the thing that I thought I was going to ignore the most, right? I was all in for narrative, the concept, all in for match play, of course, because that's what I've been playing. Then we saw this. You want to get into it a little more?
Yeah.
This really piqued my interest because I thought I was just going to be like, open play, who cares?
No, only war is like this very quick, like, hey, get together, slap a table together, get a game going.
Yeah, like a pickup game kind of match.
Super quick, and like, they're even super loose about how you build your armies. Like, just grab whatever and throw it together. Like, even if they said sometimes you may find you don't have enough models to field a minimum size unit, just field it. They're like, do whatever, man. Just do whatever you feel like, man.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, honestly, I've been in situations where I come into a new hobby shop and just to see if they've got a discount or if they have something like a paint or something I'm looking for that my normal shop doesn't have. And then I'll end up talking to a fan of 40k. And then I'm like, well, I got my stuff in the car. You want to play a 500-point game or a 1,000-point game? This is just like perfect for that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's not that many people. I mean, it's going to be mostly people going to clubs.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm new. How do I get into this? And it's just like, here we are.
Yeah.
It's all right here.
Very simple explanations. It's like, hey, set up the board, put whatever terrains and objective markers you have. As long as they're not within 10 inches of each other, objective markers can go anywhere, which is a big change because it used to be 12 inches from each other, 6 inches from the edge. And then the simple rule is if you've got more models within 3 inches of it, you have that objective.
Right.
And then they have...
Very similar to Age of Sigmar.
Yes, and then they have where they determine win conditions. So they said before setting, both players roll off. Winner gets to roll a d3 on then consult the primary objective charts, the d3 victory conditions to figure out what you guys are playing for. There's Slay and Secure, Ancient Relic, and Domination. And it just basically dictates however you gain points.
I really liked, honestly, Slay and Secure is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like a purge. A lot of players, when they first start playing, all they want to do is kill other models.
Yeah.
Right? That is a really good way to be like, hey, you need to get objectives, but also kill specific models.
Oh yeah, this is like, yeah, Slay and Secure is at the end of the battle. Each objective marker is worth 2 victory points for the player who controls it. Players also earn D3 if you kill the opposing army's warlord during the battle. Relic is essentially, before the first turn, randomly select 1 objective marker, so you've already set up all your objectives.
Right.
Randomly select 1, remove the rest. This one is worth 6 at the end of the battle if you hold it.
Yeah, so single point objective.
So like Relic,
yeah.
Relic, but
without
more fun.
Without picking it up.
Without it being dead center on the board.
Yeah.
Domination, this is where you're just accruing points every turn. 1 point per objective that you control at the end of your turn.
So it's like a watered-down Maelstrom of War without getting random objectives, right? It's just any objective, you get a point.
Good intro games.
And honestly, really, I love this because open play thought it was going to be a lot more like Unbound, where it's just like, do whatever you want. It's got some of that in there, but this is definitely how I'm going to be introducing new players.
Oh yeah, totally.
Without a doubt, because it's just like, yeah, just roll a dice, let's play. We'll find out what we're doing. And it would take, rather than having to explain rule, oh, well, in this case we play this, or in this case we play this, it's just, hey, roll a dice, this is what we're playing, let's go.
Yep, and then they go further with deployment, how to set up the board.
It's
very
just
quick and simple. The guy who
and
didn't win the roll off
determines,
you just cut the board in half. It literally says cut the board in half, and you deploy your sides of 12 inches from that middle point that you've cut.
You can do weird angles too, if you want to be a dick.
Yeah,
Don't. Now it just went from open play to complicated play.
Yeah, and then their opponent then decides which half is their own deployment zone, and they just go with that. And it's super quick, no fuss, no muss. And then they go into further, we're saying, because if you build your army based off of power level, because this is open play, they figure out what's the difference between, because power levels are all different point values.
Yeah.
You could be off.
So you get tactical, or are they called strategic rerolls? Tactical rerolls?
You get be called the underdog.
Yeah.
If you are less in a certain range, in this case is 10 to 19, the underdog receives 1 command reroll.
Command reroll.
If the difference is 20 to 29, receives 2, and so on. So every block of 10, you get an extra command reroll. The command reroll lets you reroll
Any dice.
any dice at any point during the battle.
And that's really nice because
All the time.
All the time. As you spend that command point.
Ah.
So this is it's just command reroll. It's not command point. That's the thing. It doesn't play into CPs at all.
so you do essentially, you fail an armor save that you really didn't want to fail. You roll that 1 on a 2 up. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Or in my case, you roll the 1 again.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
here's the more interesting thing. First turn, the underdog gets to decide who goes first.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we missed a very important point. Deployment. Let's see, it is alternating.
Yeah, it's alternating just like an Age of Sigmar.
That's a big thing.
That's huge because it really lent a lot to competitive Age of Sigmar. But the thing that's different here is that the person in Age of Sigmar, the person who finished first, got to determine who deployed first. Here, you could finish first but still not be the underdog.
Yep.
So we'll see how this may be just for open play. I'm hoping this transfers over to match
I'm
play
sure
for
it will.
deployment. That would be so exciting because I just, from playing very little Age of Sigmar, but watching a lot of competitive play, it's so cool to watch the deployment, counter deployment.
Oh, yeah.
And how that ends up working. There's strategy all of a sudden in list building, in deployment, and in gameplay, and that's just so good. The
Yeah.
more tactics and you can
The
fit
depth
into this
that you
game,
can
the
have
better.
on that is
oh,
fantastic.
lovely.
And like I'm a big fan of it because like instead of just going like, well, I won the most of the time everybody's going to be like, oh, I won the roll off. I'm deploying first, going first.
Yeah.
I'm going to put everything I can to like deny you any other placements, and you're just going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
This alternating thing gives you more freedom for counter
Yeah.
deployments.
But I mean, underdog still gets to pick.
Yep, underdog
in
still
this
gets
situation.
to pick, but deployment has already happened
Right.
in this order of operations. So it's really going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Like I expect maybe we'll see some underdog stuff with matched play points, where it's like strict point values. Like but the range will probably be more broad or precise.
Yeah, we'll see. Open play, all of a sudden, something that I see as viable now.
Yep, and
I
now
like it a lot.
They have a couple of victory conditions.
What are the victory conditions?
So there's major victory, whereas if
Oh, that's right.
if you've tabled your
Tabled
opponent,
someone.
you immediately win as a major victory, which is given.
Then, I mean, obvious, if you get more points than, don't table your opponent, but you get more points than them based
Major
off of the mission objectives.
Yes.
Major victory.
But if both players have the same number of victory points at the end of the battle, the underdog wins a minor victory.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So major victory and minor victory are things from Age of Sigmar as well. And it's surprising to see this in open play because those two distinctions were used for like competitive play, right? Where you needed to know, did I win a major victory and how many points you get in a tournament setting kind of situation.
It's I like that because like the underdog's already playing at a disadvantage, especially like if we have to really see what the suggested range is for power level for open play is.
Right, yeah.
Because we talked about that before. We're like, it's not going to be 1,000. It's going to be like 100.
It's going to be 100, 200 maybe.
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll see.
250 maybe tops.
It is going to be really exciting to see. It's also going to be interesting to see if they suggest hey, you should be no more. Like, you get these, but
Yeah.
like, it's going to stop being fun at a certain point unless you have, like, and this is where, actually, let's use this to transfer into narrative play. Because in narrative play, we have 6 scenarios, and not always are the sides balanced.
Yep.
In some scenarios, we have it where you're defending against a much larger force, and it's all about just trying to survive to a certain point. Each of them have different stratagems. All of this has got me. My interest was piqued with narrative play because I'm a big fluff junkie.
Fluffy teddy bears?
God, you're so new to this hobby. It's like a spring fawn.
The thing is I'm not new to this hobby, Gavin.
Well, you're new to the complete hobby. So, fluff, the books, all of the story, the stuff that you don't do.
Yeah.
Right. So I was always interested in this narrative play, but seeing some of these the things that they've shown us, we've already seen some kind of narrative things from advanced gameplay. but having different stratagems, everything we've seen so far,
Yep.
really cool stuff.
So
I got a sheet of them right here for you.
yeah, for the what is it? The narrative ones. These are narrative stratagems.
For
Attacker
specific,
and
this
defender.
yeah, this is specifically for one type of mission.
Which one was that? Rescue, was it?
I can't remember the name of it.
Oh my goodness. But this is for the. No, I believe this is for rescue. Which one is this one? Actually, I have it right here.
So there's something with an alarm.
Yeah.
So it seems like the game is you get to set up some like scout or not scout but sensor units, or one unit unless you pay for more. And
sabotage.
You're trying to sabotage.
This is for
And then the attackers coming in and trying to get objectives and then sabotage
Yep.
them. Who knows what that means? We know we've got a little from it, but just from that little taste, that's how I love to play. I love these kind of things where if you set up a game with a friend, you know what army they're bringing, and you're like, well, hold on, we could play our standard competitive match play style, but you're playing guard, I'm playing Gene Stealer cults, and we could do a really, really cool thematic kind of like I'm trying to overwhelm the defenses.
Yep.
All of a sudden
I'm trying to
kind of
sneak
game.
in.
And that's what I love about 40K. I used to make up my own game types. Sometimes they didn't work out that well. But we're given these really fluffy that work with a lot of different armies. And I'm so pumped to play these, honestly.
I agree. It's going to be really fun for when we try out our narrative campaign.
My first game in 8th is definitely going to be match play.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you I'm going immediately into
Yeah, we're definitely going to want to jump into that stuff because they've been really good about the whole 3 ways to play, and they're pushing that really hard. And they've delivered for Age of Sigmar because they have had a lot of stuff in there, and that's really fun.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm really excited, and this could just be the shiny new edition excitement.
Yep.
I really think they killed it with this.
Yeah, they totally did. And now moving forward to the more competitive scene.
Match play.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what we play a lot.
My
We
points.
play a lot of the equivalent of match play.
Real quick,
Dudes are better than you.
who's winning the split?
Who's winning the split?
Yeah.
Actually, Jared probably.
How many points? I need to go play.
You're winning currently.
You're in danger.
You're in danger because he's only played 3 games.
See,
of our
I might
5.
not read
I've
all
only
the fluffy
played-
stuff,
I've only
but I
played-
can play, boys.
I've only played 3 tier 5.
And he's only 2 points behind me, which I played all 5 of my games as well. We have an internal league. It's got some goofy rules, but there's a really dumb trophy that we fight over. So that's what.
I'll bring it next time.
It's lovely. Yeah, well,
My
sure.
name's not on it.
Yeah, you should probably get your name on the trophy first.
Before I take it and put my name on it.
No, I'm going for
again.
a two.
Yeah,
I'm getting 2 in a row. You're not taking it.
Oh, he might take that from you. It's looking pretty bad.
Then I just got to go and find a game where I can get a lot of points. I'm going to go see what my lowest game is and go and play a game to get more points.
But you always played 2,000?
Yeah.
All your games are 2,000 points.
Anyways,
but I
Anyways,
so
tangent.
what we're told is
So,
that
match play.
we have the 6 Eternal War.
The same.
We have 6 Maelstrom, and that they've all been eighthized.
Yeah, eighthized, we don't know what that means.
What a word.
Yeah, I know. I made it up right now.
Eighthanized.
Eithanized? That sounds like euthanized.
Yeah,
Does.
exactly.
I like his word better.
Yeah,
Hey, man, it's
eighthized.
the grim dark.
Yeah, it is.
The
You're
grim
right.
dark future 40K.
You could definitely euthanize 7th edition. I would not be angry.
Just put that shit
So
down.
6 deployment
But
maps.
so yeah, with tweaks they didn't really say anything. But I imagine they're just gonna like shove command points into that.
Command points, probably some stratagems.
They've already stated that they've reworked
The
tactical objectives.
Yep.
Um,
And
Which-
you have one cool one to talk about.
yes.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Let's get
we'll
into
just
it because
go ahead
it's
and get into that one.
so hype. It's so hype. I've had so many games
Wow.
which could have been.
You just got so hyped.
Yeah,
so excited.
I said that. Thank you.
Wow.
So normally in 7th edition, for when you're dealing with tactical objectives, if you had one you didn't like, you had the option in some mission types to just discard it at the end of the turn.
Right.
At the end of your turn.
But some of them didn't even have it.
Yeah.
Wasn't even an option.
Like Spoils of War.
Yeah, that was gross.
Which I liked.
I mean, honestly, very fun game type, but if you are dealt a bad hand,
Oh yeah.
you are in a very shitty position, and sometimes it really sucks when you have a turn and you are only 2-3 points behind your opponent, and you have no opportunity.
Yeah.
Because of a bad draw.
Yeah.
And that's just not they're clearly trying to remove the situations where you are left feeling like you don't have options. You should always feel like you have it. So even if you are left in a situation, you can drop 2 command points, and as you were saying, the start instead of the end of your turn,
Yeah.
the start of your turn, discard, and immediately
Redraw a new one.
redraw a new one, which could be equally as bad
Yeah, equally as bad, or even better.
or even better. Yeah,
That's the
Probably equally as bad.
difference between domination and ascendance.
it depends on how they rework the maelstrom or the
That's
tactical
true.
objectives.
That's very true.
So, I think that's really good. I think that's really powerful.
2 command points is pretty costly. though.
Two command points. As we've seen, it's going to be difficult to in the mid-range typical games to have more than 6.
And not to get into this
7.
too deeply, but with the how fast these games are going, I do have a strong feeling that we're going to start seeing larger point games played. Because I know our game group often plays 1,500 and 2,000 point games. That's our like 2 standard game types most of the time. And I know a lot of competitive players play 1,850 and 2,000.
ITC standard.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing 2,500 and 3,000 point games.
Yes, I imagine because of how much, as you said, because of how much faster they've alluded to, because a lot of the reason why we don't play 3,000, 4,000 point games
We
is
don't have
It would take 12 hours.
we don't have 8 hours to churn through. But if a 1,500 point game they said was 90 minutes, then we
I mean,
could
I
easily-
know I'm still going to be playing with at 90 minutes, a 1,500 point game, a best of 3 is really exciting.
I would love to see.
The only thing is I would like to see the setup be cut down somehow, so where it's faster to set up.
Well, that's why with open play, when we talked about the open play stuff, that's like it's
Right,
super
but that's
quick.
not been matched.
But that's not match play, so we'll have to see what they've done.
But
to
we
that
don't know
as
if they adapt that.
Right, I just hope that there's a fast way to set up, because I feel
Yes.
like the setting up, picking all your trades, doing all this stuff, it's like,
Yeah.
here's your arm, you got to play the same thing every single time, and here's the fast way to set it up.
And
Then
one of the
best
things they're
threes
going to
would
do
be
is
very
with
cool.
the deployment maps. They have, for the longest time,
3,
3.
and only 3.
Hamburger, hot dog,
And,
taco.
The ones you guys hated.
and the stupid one that you had
Vanguard.
That's taco. Yeah,
that you just never
Is that
want to set
Vanguard
up.
deployment?
yeah.
Yeah.
Vanguard.
Hamburger,
hot dog, and taco.
Yeah, taco.
The food staples of deployment.
Wow.
And those were it for like the longest time.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, here's.
And everyone but me hated Vanguard.
Well, because it was such a pain to set up.
So what are the
love
3
Vanguard.
other ones?
I always forget the format.
So we were given one. One is we have quadrants, and this is actually from.
they only gave us one example.
Yeah, there's so it's the 4th that
Kinda like
we
Kill
know,
Team.
and it's very much like Kill Teams. It's I believe it's either from 2nd edition or 3rd edition. It's a throwback deployment type. Quadrants with a chunk in the center taken out, and that's when we run those Kill Team tournaments.
that's how
I
we ran it.
based our Kill Team
Yeah.
off of that. Yeah.
On a 4x4.
Yeah.
And this is with a
So,
6x4.
so I have a question. If you go up in points, are you going to see bigger tables then? Or are you going to try to play, 2,500, 3,000 points?
I know that in Apocalypse games, they recommend once you hit above like 4,000 and more, you should really up your board size.
What was it?
They
8x4?
8x4,
Or is it
and
6x8s?
sometimes they do 6x8s as well. Because it just depends on how big. I know that at
I've heard back
Warhammer World and some of the like really big tables they've made are just like where they play Heresy with 8 people at the same time.
Yep.
It's just it's
It's massive.
a war.
You get this like really cool like U-shaped table setup that they have.
We're gonna
Yeah.
have to do
With
one
a
of
40
these.
plus.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, APOC scale games are going to be crazy.
We will do one.
of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Anything else on missions?
I think that covers it,
I
man.
think that covers it. Yeah.
Well, that covers missions. Next up, I don't know. We'll find out. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun things. Get our names out there. We're bringing you some awesome content. More to come soon. Over and out.